Hey guys, welcome to Pet Rambles. I'm Pet and today I'm going to ramble about how to protect our vinyl records, or how I'm trying to protect my vinyl records. So we are going to have a look at a couple of outer sleeves to put, over the records, and at about a couple of inner sleeves, which are helping with static and other things like that. And I'll go into more details a bit later. I will put things on the screen, prices and whatnot, and maybe some timestamps in the bottom if you want to skip my rambling. But since on this channel I like to ramble about things, I'm going to ramble about why. 4 years, I started collecting vinyl records 9 years ago, something like that, and I kind of didn't. I wasn't enjoying outer sleeves, right? With inner sleeves, I got the classic paper ones, which I'm trying to replace right now, and I will show you what in a second. But with outer sleeves, I never kind of liked outer sleeves. They always looked bad on the side when you look at them and so on. I was like, it's fine, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to be very careful with them anyway, so they are not going to get destroyed, the cover and whatnot. Wrong. What I was doing with some records is that whenever I was buying them, I was always keeping this sleeve like this, kind of like for some extra protection, because on the side you can still see the slip, whatever, whoever is having this album, so it's easier to find it when you are looking in the collection. But the thing is that this thing is kind of like putting pressure on the record, because it's like tied up to sealed kind of, and it's kind of like warping the records. At least that's the idea. So it's not a good idea to have it like those. So I've kind of like started to just rip this thing out and and replace it with proper sleeves. Second, let me show you this. This is an EP record that I've been having since 2005. You will be like, oh my god, this is like, what have you been doing with this? Nothing. It's been sitting on the shelves for 20 years. And it's looking basically like this. You would be under the impression that I kept pulling it to listen. No, I only got... The first time I managed to listen to this was something... 9 years later? And I've been having this since 11 years later. I was able to finally listen. I only listened to this twice. Story about this another time, because this is kind of like a funny thing on how I got this into the collection. But anyway, yeah, this is how it looks just by being on the shelf. I've been buying records, as I've said, 9 years. 98% of them are brand new, bought by me, full price. On top of that, you also add shipping price. I kind of want to take good care of them, even if I'm like careful when I'm pulling them out and whatnot. They just have normal wear just by sitting on the shelf. Then last year, I got a new cat, Bobber, the black one. You kind of seen it maybe in a couple of videos. He's sleeping right there. And because of that, my older cat started to take advantage. She got pissed off at me, and she started to take a piss on the carpet right down here. And let me actually show you a little bit. See, it used to be a carpet here, and she was pissing right here, and she was basically also pissing on the records. Yeah. And I have a good number of records who are a little bit like tainted by cat piss. I'm not totally pissed off, because now it's a story that I can tell, and I'm not planning on selling those records anyway. Even that the records that she hit, two of them were signed by the bands Blazage and Fanfare Jokerlia, so they even have more importance to the whole thing. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Lesson learned. So a couple of years ago, I looked at a label to see what bands they have, and I was looking to buy something, and I made an order of 3. The record label is Avant Records, and I was planning on buying this. And they ship the 3 records that I bought, and they came up with this really nice sleeve. And I was like, oh man, this is actually kind of like finally a proper sleeve that I like how it sits, and you can feel that it's a bit more quality. And I asked them, like, guys, this is like pretty nice. Where? They didn't told me where. They just told me that those are pretty expensive. And I was looking at last year. I was looking at hhv.de, a German website where I usually buying records, and I saw that they actually have those things. Very pricey. I don't remember the price right now. I'll put it on the screen, but they are very pricey. So I started to buy 50, and now I bought another set of 50. But then again, they are pricey, and I'm kind of like, I have like 300 and something record. And while I was visiting actual store in Germany, in Berlin, the HHV store in Berlin, I decided to buy this thing. And this record came up with this kind of inner sleeve. I was like, whoa, what is this? I kind of saw those things before, but I haven't paid attention. Clear like this, some kind of, it's rice paper or something like that it's called, but it was very nice to pull the record out and put it back in. I was like, this is interesting, and I did a little bit of research, and those inner sleeves supposed to also help with anti-static. I like that you can see the arrows and so on. I was like, time for an upgrade. So when I decided to put an order on Amazon of those inner record sleeves, I decided to also buy some outer record sleeves just to try it out, because again, those things I just bought 50. They are nice, but they're a little bit more expensive, and maybe I can find something else in the meantime. And I just opened an entire door of various brands who do outer sleeves and inner sleeves and so on. And I put like 4 of them on the cart, and I wanted to order, but then I was like, why am I committing to one brand? I've read the reviews and so on. Some people were, yeah, very good, 5 stars out of 5, and some people were like, I was like, let's buy different style of brands of inner sleeve and outer sleeves, and then I can compare them, and I can make a video, and then I will commit to a particular brand, and so on and so on. So, without further ado, let's have a look at some of the outer sleeves. I will start again with this one that you saw. I will put a link. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. From hhv.de, and I will put the price and so on. Those are actually looking nice. This is an example of a record that's with that sleeve in particular. I like to put the out thing on the side so I can just get it out. I don't get the record out of those outer. I just pull out the record itself like this directly. Then let's look at those. I've seen what people were saying. The overall ratings were still lots of stars, almost 4.5 stars or something like that. I should have listened to the low reviews. I always like to go on the reviews that are a bit lower and see what other people who are more pissed off are saying. And they are totally right. The idea with those sleeves is that they are very clear. Kind of all of those other are very clear, but they are resealable. Like you can put this out and then you can reseal them. The thing is that it's very, maybe you can hear it also. It feels like I bought records. I have records in my collection who are coming with something by default, and I just pull this thing out and I just throw it out. It's perfect for that. If you are having like a record company or a record label who's pressing or whatever, and you put those things there, this is not something that I want to constantly use. Especially this whole thing with resealable thing. I don't need a resealable thing. It's annoying. It's feeling bad. Like maybe it doesn't feel bad right now, but I will show in a second the other things that I enjoy. Those things are kind of nice. I won't stick with them. I think I will go with another brand when it comes to outer sleeves, but those are kind of the same. I will basically look at the price. There are some inner sleeves and then some outer sleeves who are very 95% similar, and what's going to be the difference is the price. Forgot right now what is the price of those, but they are just okay. They are clear, pretty clear. They feel that you can put in a record inside very easily. And let me actually just put this old fella in so you can see how it looks and how it feels. And just like that, it's protected. It is, maybe you can fit a bit of a thicker record here with 2 records inside. A gatefold might not fit into this one, but I will show you a gatefold thingy also. But yeah, this is how it looks. Pretty nice, easy to put in, easy to put out, and on the side you can also see which record it is. So yeah, that's one thing to take care of. Then we are going to take a look at those Big Fudge. And Big Fudge, it's kind of like a brand that I like. So far I've been positively impressed. But this is what I was saying. If I remember correctly, those were cheaper than the other ones or something like that. And again, it's kind of like the same thing. pretty clear. Let's actually put this Violent Femmes record inside. This is the second album of the band, which has a pretty cool song called Hallowed Ground, and I also like Never Tell, the third song. So again, it goes in nicely and move just like that. It is pretty clear. It is being protected. They are not that expensive that you are like, oh my god, they broke or whatever. So yeah, pretty straightforward. And the last outer sleeves that we are going to look at are those the ones? They should be those. Still brand, the same brand. Those are gatefold. Yeah, those are the gatefold one. They are pretty pricey. I believe that those are 25 euros for a pack of 25. So yeah, basically €1 for one of those sleeves. Not going to pull them out, but I do have an actual record that it's using this. Look, Stardew Valley first edition. Very clear, very nice on the side. This is the back. And this is the thing with the gatefold one. This is why they are more expensive. You can open them, and this thing is also protected. This thing is also protected, right? So what it sees that they have like this protection, and on this side, it's there's no foil, right? It's like an empty thing, just so it can easily close up. So this is a way to protect the gatefold records. And I actually am preparing to buy. I won't buy the same brand, mostly because again, this is 25 euros, and I've seen something that looks very similar at 17 or 16 euros. So I might try that other brand also, and I will compare them, and then I will decide, will I stick with the cheaper option, or will I pay 25 euros to buy this other more expensive option. Because yeah, when you have, and I do have a lot of gatefolds. I've looked at the collection. A lot of those vinyl records that you see, those are video game music, soundtracks from video games. They are gatefold. Now let's actually look at inner sleeves. Like I've showed you on this other record, this is how they look. They actually feeling fantastic in hand. And we are going to look at three brands. The first brand that we are going to look, and I think this is the brand that I'm going to stick with, this is how it's called. I will put a price on the screen somewhere. And this is how the paper is looking. You can see the arrows. Initially I was like, I don't want to see this branding and this premium whatever. But I do enjoy the arrows, and you will see in a second why. And let's actually put the Violent Femmes record inside this thing. I'm not sure if the Violent Femmes record came up with something, but this is something that I actually bought. I have like 100 of those paper thingsy. They are not that bad. If you have something like this, they are, let's say, okayish, but they do charge statically and so on. But with other options that I've seen with internal, with inner sleeves, the papers are, let's say, decent. There are records who have their own custom inserts with lyrics and so on. I'm always keeping that inside, but then I'm still preferring the record itself to sit into something like this, even that sometimes they don't really have that much space inside the sleeve itself. So again, very easy to put it up. I'm just trying to also show you at the same time. So it's a bit messy, but it's fine. And then boof, just like this. This is how the record is sitting inside. It's easy how you can see it. Very easy to pull it out. I mean, I am touching this a little, but you can even go like this with the hand and whatever. And then putting this inside. This record has been updated to something that's more properly stored. Feel free to write in the comments, by the way, if you think that I'm doing anything wrong. How are you storing your records, and what? One of the reasons why I'm making those videos is so I can get more feedback and suggestions and ideas and so on. Then we are going to look at something that I'm not going to stick with. The same brand that you've seen before. They are not bad itself, but in comparison, again, the price will decide in the end, but then those other things that you saw are kind of like similarly priced, I believe. And I simply don't like, they don't have any arrows. They don't have the branding, fine, they don't have any kind of arrows. And also, what's with this? Well, why is not the And you see, I don't know where exactly to do. Okay, it's here. So they are not bad, but again, they have this kind of like, they are not I'm nitpicking a little bit here. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still, if I'm to nitpick, this is my problem, and also no arrows. The last inner sleeve that we are going to look at is those Big Fudge premium inner sleeves, looking like this. And again, this is kind of like this. They are very similar to the ones that I'm going to stick with, to those ones, I believe. But those were like 25 euros, I believe, or something like that, for a number for 50. And those other option is like 8-9 euros difference, and that's pretty much when you, especially when you have to buy like 100 and 100 or 150, something like that. So yeah, they are still looking pretty nice. And I kind of, this is the last one from this pack. I need to pick something so I can upgrade it. Where should I go? Where should I go? Again, an example of me keeping this thingy there. This is Pixies Trompe Le Monde. Let's get rid of this. I paid a decent price. I remember when I got this record from the guy. And again, see, this is an example on how the album is coming with their own internal thingy. How beautiful the color is. This is the first album that I've listened from Pixies. And the first song, which is Alec Eiffel. That's how I got into Pixies. And now I'm going to put this inside, and we still should have room for the gatefold, for the original inner sleeve. Be careful, but it's still fine. Let's go with this one. And boof, just like that. Upgraded, updated, whatever. So that's kind of it for this video. Feel free to write in the comments. I'm really curious, like, what are you using to store your, how are you storing your records and so on. I am preparing to make videos about the vinyl records that I bought in 2025 this year. It's a video that I've been doing for the past 9 years. But then I'm also preparing to do videos about how I'm organizing my collection, because I really need some suggestion there. Why I'm collecting, what's my relationship with music. And then the most important video, which is the reason why I've been overthinking so much. I like this album, right? This is why it's in my collection. How can I make a video about this album to entice you to listen to this? Because I don't have, music is more like, how? Anyway, I will make a video. Watch that video. So, thank you guys for watching. See you soon. Goodbye.